So today we have the honor of sitting down with one of the most recognized and influential names in New Jersey real estate. A leader, a top producer, and a master in marketing. Robert Dekanski has built one of the strongest and trusted teams in the world. His team is known for results, his billboards are impossible to miss, and his work ethic has set a new standard in our industry. From humble beginnings to leading a powerhouse organization, his journey is a proof that grit, consistency, and a vision can take you anywhere. Last year, you sold 11,000 homes, over $3 billion, like billion dollars in sales. So that's amazing. Welcome, Robert!
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
I know I've been chasing you since 2001. So you're a tough cookie. I could tell.
2001?
Yes.
Really?
I was checking my text. I was like, oh my God. And I know we met in Tony Robbins, right?
We did a few
Yeah,
times.
a few times. So for the people who may not know you yet, who is Robert Dekanski?
So I'm going in here blind, right? So I'm just going to wing this out. So you're going to get the most honest answers you can out of me because I did zero prep. Who am I? It's a great question. One that I probably don't think about too often. But I'm definitely a big jokester at heart. I'm a big kid.
Love it.
Yeah, I don't take things too seriously. I like to live kind of like a lower stress kind of existence. And I just like to kind of flow. You know, I don't really like friction. And I try to line up things to, enjoy life and make it, a happy one, an easygoing one where I could give back. So that's kind of, that's actually what brought me to Monmouth too. Monmouth's like that better pace. We were just talking about that right before the camera started. I grew up in Colonia, but I'm down in Monmouth County now, and it's just different, flip-flops, coffee, hoodie, do my little thing. It's not as hectic as it is up once you get to like central North Jersey. So it just kind of matches my character, my personality. Yeah.
And believe it or not, that the people that live the most, like stress-free, don't take anything serious, don't take anything personal, because life is life.
Yeah.
So I love that about you. So tell us, how do you describe your personality as an entrepreneur and as a realtor?
So I would say that, so I started real estate in 2002.
Yes.
Right? So now it's 2025. It's been a long time.
Wow.
Started when I was 18. The realtor hat was from 18 to maybe 31, 32, right? Where it was just realtor. But I did get out of production in 2015. So my team handles everything, even when my mom has, a home to sell or something to buy. One of my agents will help her.
Right.
Even one of my best friends do, because that's just not where my focus is now. And I feel like I'd be doing my clients or friends a disservice if I was the one doing the transaction, because the focus has shifted so much to the entrepreneurial side, which is going to be more the marketing, the coaching, the guidance, helping the agents, kind of more of a leveraged role, right? Like I still have an impact on different transactions, and I do, provide support and guidance for my people, but they're an extension of me. So it's a little bit more, of like a macro view, Yeah, where I could kind of oversee more and do more with my time than if I was servicing everything myself. It would just be impossible.
Can you take us from where you I know you started real estate back in 2002. How everything started, how you got your license. Who told you to get your license, first of all?
Yeah, that's an easy one.
I know you quit school early, no? I heard. You left school?
Not early.
No?
No, not early. Actually, I dropped out with just a few credits left.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I thought, I don't know. Maybe I thought it'd be a cool story, but yeah, I did.
Tell us. We want to hear everything.
I mean, there's not much to say. Let me back it up. So I started working. I've always worked like hustle jobs, where if I work hard, like I was painting boats, I was cutting lawns, I was raking leaves, where I got paid for the output, kind of like we do in sales, right? We get paid for the result, not the time. So it's always appealed to me. So then I started bussing tables at Red Lobster in Woodbridge.
Wow.
Where also, if I worked hard for the servers, they would tip me, graciously. I still remember my first $100 day calling my mom. I was in my 1985 gold Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. And I remember calling home like, I made $106 in tips. And I was going nuts. But Yeah, so I bust tables 16, 17, and then at 18 I went straight to the bar because I can make more money. Right, same concept.
Mm-hmm.
Work hard, stay late, deliver results, and get tipped accordingly. So yeah, I went to the bar, and my friend's dad would always come in, and he was in real estate, and he would tell me, how much money he makes, and
He's still in business?
seemed really happy. He is, but just kind of, probably like retirement age and just kind of winding down.
Mm-hmm.
So he dabbles. But yeah, he would always come in and tell me how well he does. And, this guy's drinking scotch and eating lobster tails. And I'm like, and I thought I'm doing good, right? Behind the bar, because now I'm making, full-time full-time in the summer, but I was putting in a lot of hours even with school. $1,000, $1,200 a week, right? So I was like, this is amazing. This is what normal people make kind of leaving college, right? 50, 60,000 a year. So I was already doing it at 18, and he's coming in talking about, I made 11,000 today. I remember these numbers like it was yesterday.
Wow.
I made 11,000 today. I was like, whoa.
And
and then another
18-year-old hearing that, making so much money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it blows your mind.
It does. And then another time he told me, he's like, I make 27,000 this month.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right. And he was just selling me. He's like, you're perfect at real estate. You got a great personality. You work hard, all this stuff. And yeah. So in between my freshman and sophomore year in college, so I went to college when I was 17. I guess I was a little young for my grade.
Okay. Which college you went to?
Went to Rutgers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I turned 18, my freshman year. And then I did the real estate class in the summer. Mm-hmm. When I was 18 years old. So yeah, and then I got right into real estate. It's the only thing I've done as an adult. I haven't had another job, so it's been my career since the beginning. And then yeah, he took me on, he mentored me. It was a slow, painful start. I'll tell you about that too. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my story. So I went to Rutgers, started selling real estate, and then I didn't make it to the business school because I wasn't paying too much attention in class. I was leaving class to talk to clients, like that type of stuff. And then I went to Kane, which is right here down the street.
Right.
Yeah. And I still remember being in these classes and, teachers not really being able to even comprehend that I was a realtor for like years, and they would ask me how many homes I'm selling. I'd tell them, and they'd be like, I remember the one time that my teacher's like, you guys do the math on that. It's like this much per house and this many houses. Yeah, so I was in Kane finishing up. Long story short, I made like $240,000. It was probably my 6th or 7th year in the business, so it took a long time. But I made like $240. I was still in school.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, what am I doing? Like, I'm not going to get a job. Like nothing compares to this. So I just, stopped going cold turkey. I should have done it years prior, I guess. Because it definitely slowed down. You know what I mean? That ramp up. But things happen for a reason.
So you stopped college?
I did. Yeah. I think I had like 107 credits already under my belt.
And how do your parents took that decision that you have to leave college?
Yeah, I think at that point I showed to them that I could do better than, you know what I mean? Even if that year was an anomaly, I could still do much better than, because I grew into it, right? Mm-hmm. So I could do better than the average person, better than anything they've seen before, and better than their bosses were making. Right. And I think at that point they had the faith in me that I could make it work,
Well, my oldest daughter, she wants to get her real estate license. Yeah. She's 20. Well, I look 25.
Right. I don't know how that works.
But she's got, I think my main priority is for her to finish college.
Okay.
Like, she has plenty of time because, she's working with us because she's handling the financial part. But I keep telling her that this is not the right time. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm giving her the right advice, but I think I never finished college, and I really regret it because, with the business that we have, I think we're a better education. I could take this business to a different level. But since that I didn't have that, I always tell them, I have 2 in college right now, so I have 3 daughters, 2018 and 17. So I always tell them. So that's why I ask you, how do your parents took that decision? But I mean, they already know. They knew that you were making a lot of money. They knew that you have the personality to be in sales. So that's amazing. And they saw the numbers, I'm pretty sure.
Of course. I already proved it, right? So I think that's an easier sell than if it was just I'm selling them a vision and I didn't make anything yet,
Right.
So I already kind of had a proof of concept and I had results. So Yeah, so they trusted me at that point. They didn't want me to do it at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I earned the right to make that happen. And I mean, yeah, I guess it'd be nice to know I finished and had a degree. I probably should have at that point because I was so close.
It's never too late. But I mean, with so much money that you're making right now, I don't
think
think
it is though. Yeah, I think the credits expire. So
they do?
They do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yep.
Like
I think I'm back to 0 credits. I think some of them may last. I don't know how it works. I didn't really look into it. It didn't really matter.
Oh, right.
If it wasn't this, it'd be something else. I'd
Right.
figure it out. That's
Yeah,
just kind of
of
my
course.
personality. Yeah.
Robert, do you have any children? You don't have any children, right?
No.
You don't.
No.
You married?
No.
Single?
Yeah.
You're single.
Yes.
Oh my God. So next question.
Well, that was quick. Good. I'm glad you did probe.
Because I've been trying to look for more information about you, but it's tough.
Okay.
Like you're
Yeah, you
very
said that.
private. You're very private, which is good.
Yeah.
It's good and bad. What do you
Okay.
think?
I don't know if it's that I'm private. Maybe I am. I don't think I'm doing it intentionally. I'm not the type of person that needs to or wants to or kind of gets compelled to show things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in Mexico last week. There was no stories, no posts. Right before that, I was in North Carolina. No
Right.
stories, no posts. I was I've been in 3 different places in the past month.
Really?
I don't know if I put up a single story or post.
Okay.
It's just how I am, and my business is running and I generate business in a lot of ways that aren't hinging on social media or anything like that. So I think that's also a factor too. Like if I thought that would help me get more business where it was kind of worth the effort, and maybe that's a limiting belief, but it's just not something that I wanted to do. It just felt like a big commitment to constantly post, update, cameras, videos, all
Right.
that stuff. It's just not what I wanted to do. It felt
Right.
like a lot.
But you do have a girlfriend.
Oh, we're going back to this.
I really want to know.
I don't have a girlfriend right now. No.
You don't?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. What were you as a teenager?
Yeah.
Did that version of you ever imagine becoming who you are today?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a loaded question too. I imagined much more, and I feel like I've done nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Legitimately. So there's a big gap between what I imagine and where I am right now that I'm trying to fill.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Why is that? I mean, you think you're not hitting your goals? You think that there is something bigger for you?
There is. I know
Yeah.
there is. I know there's a lot more to life than this. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the moment that you realize, okay, I can build something big here? I mean, we always have that moment. For me, I think I'm the type of person that I really take action. It doesn't matter if
Yeah.
I know the systems or the process. And that's why my husband always tell me that I'm crazy. Like last week, we were talking in the office and we mentioned, what do we open another office? I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go tomorrow to see places, blah, blah. And my husband was listening to me. And when we got home, he was like, how are you going to open a new office? You don't know who is going to be taking care of that office, how many staff you're going to hire. And I said, listen, we'll figure it out. So I'm the type of person that I really take action. It doesn't matter if I know the process or not. I mean, we're going to figure it out while we are in the process.
Yeah.
So how about you?
Yeah. I mean, you nailed it. I'm kind of similar where I shoot from the hip. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily aim right away. But life rewards the action takers. Life rewards the action takers. And you don't want to be just sitting around philosophizing and,
Right.
you know what I mean? And thinking of theories and all the reasons why it won't work. Those people don't make it. You got to be the person that does something. It's not about being the smartest. It's about taking action and then learning and pivoting and adjusting. So exactly how you are is how I am. It's not crazy. I think the opposite of that is crazy, to just sit around and think and never do anything.
Never think.
Because once you do it, you learn. And there is a quote about it. It's escaping me, but the first half of it is something about imperfect action is better than whatever. You know what I mean? You get the idea, right?
Yes.
Imperfect action still beats anything else. And then you perfect it and fine tune it over time.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. So when you first started real estate and you start making real money.
Yeah.
What was your first big purchase?
My first big purchase, it was probably, it was still business related. It was probably my Hummer. I bought an H2 Hummer
Okay.
that I wrapped and put my face all over and my USP and my website and my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Gas was like $4 a gallon. I was still in college,
Mm-hmm.
and I was driving around like a maniac,
Right.
showing houses, going on appointments, things like that. So my first big purchase was still reinvesting in the business.
So you did have that vision from the beginning of putting, because right now I know you're an expert in billboards. So you put your face in your Hummer?
Yes. Yeah, it was a 2004 Hummer. When did I do it? Maybe 2007. Yeah, probably 2007 I bought the Hummer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny too. So I bought a Hummer that year. Then I bought an M6. That was for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year I made 100,000 less than I did the year I bought the two cars. So that was scary.
And then you're going to have to return it. No.
That was scary. But
course.
then I picked up where I left off and then blew past the old high.
Oh
that
my
was when the
God.
market was shifting from, the market kind of had that blow off top like
Mhm.
06, 07. And then
Okay.
everything was kind of shifting to distressed sales, short sales,
Right.
my listings. I remember at one point I had over 3 dozen short sales on the market. I think it was like
Really?
2008, 2009. And, it takes a year to get paid on those,
Right.
right? So it was just, everything changed, instead of getting a check in 3 months, it was like 12 months.
So you're
So-
familiar with foreclosures too?
Yeah. I mean, that's the market that I lived through from,
Mm-hmm.
07 to 2012,
Mhm.
kind of 13, we kind of bottomed and started turning.
Okay.
But 5 or 6 years, we had to adapt and
Yeah.
adjust.
That's great.
Yeah.
I started my career doing auctions.
Okay.
And then I transitioned to foreclosures. And then that's the reason that we opened the nonprofit organization, because right now we help a lot of people to keep their houses through loan modifications, and we don't charge them anything. And
Amazing.
it's really a blessing. And like you said, there were some years that we had so many foreclosures,
Yeah.
it's tough to handle so many business. So my next question is, what has been the toughest part of being a realtor at your level?
Ooh. I'm not going to lie. Life's pretty good, and
Yeah, you're
it's
traveling
like-
all over the place. It's like
Yeah.
all over the world. It's like
life is
fantastic.
really good. There's so many perks that come with,
Do you
know what I
still
mean,
deal
pushing
with
through.
clients directly?
No, not since 2015. Like I
Oh,
mentioned about being
yeah,
out of
yeah, yes.
production.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Not since 2015. That was my last client that I handled
Oh, okay.
personally. Yeah. Life is good. I would say the toughest part kind of on the way, let's call it maybe the way up, and now maybe I'm numb to it, or it's kind of subsided a little bit. You kind of get a lot of people kind of in your ear,
Mm,
that try to plant seeds of doubt.
mm.
So I think having the blinders on and not listening to them
Right.
it could be tough, especially
Mhm.
if it's someone close to you that you love,
Mm-hmm.
family member, or, a friend. So I think you want to just kind of guard yourself, you know what I mean, to opinions that
Yes.
don't help you or serve
Yeah.
you. That was tough on the way up. Now, I mean, I don't listen to anybody,
Right.
like if I see a vision, I'm going to go for it.
I love
I
it.
really don't care what somebody's
Yeah.
opinion is, if I could do it or not. Yes, that was tough at the beginning because, now I have some evidence that I could, see through my vision and make it come to life. Back then I really had none or little to none.
Mhm.
So then it was more of like a faith kind of thing, because you have the self-doubt with the external doubts. So I think shutting out the doubt and the negativity was big. And then, people say things about you, people assume things about you. That bothered me at the beginning.
Mhm.
Doesn't bother me now. I think enough people know me now that word gets out.
Right.
Like, I think I got a pretty good rep from
Yeah.
certainly people that know me. People that don't know me, I guess they could assume what they assume.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big deal. It's human nature. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I learned that it's
And it's their issue too. Have you ever thought about quitting
quitting what?
real estate?
No, absolutely
Never?
not. No.
Really?
You mean like
in
mean
my
like
beginning of my
decades
career.
ago or now or
No,
recent?
no, not recently. Like in your career, because in the beginning of my career, I was like, okay, this is not for me.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I was a stay-home mom.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, this business is so hard.
Yeah.
So I thought about quitting. So you
Yeah.
never thought about quitting during your career?
No, because I didn't have another option. right? So maybe that's why.
Oh, okay.
I mean, listen, there's days and weeks and months that I wasn't thrilled, you know what I mean, with this
Right.
business. There's days and weeks and months and even years where I've been worried.
Right.
But quitting is not an option.
Right.
You know, seeing my way through and making it work. Because, yeah, I guess because I didn't really feel like I had a plan B, I had to make this work.
Right.
And also the thing that I sold myself on is I didn't have to do much to do better than to replace any job that's out there. Does that make sense? Like, okay, maybe I wouldn't hit the heights that I wanted to hit, but just to make, you know, a livable wage was very, very simple and very easy once you kind of knew what you were doing.
Right.
So, yeah, as much as you could get, you know, caught up on the negatives and the stresses, there really is no alternative, you know, in my opinion, or in my world.
What was your best year in real estate? And how many transactions did you close?
So just to back it up, when you did the intro, you gave my lifetime statistics, but said it was last year. Yeah. So we did not sell 11,000 houses last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw it in the website. So how many transactions?
No,
you
so
closed?
yeah, that's like my kind of year to date number that I use,
okay.
11, 12,000. My best year was 1,700 sales.
Okay.
So hopefully it doesn't change things. I don't know if you want to kick me off your podcast now because it's not what you thought it was.
No.
But just under 1,700, I think we did in either 19 and 20 or 20 and 21. I forget when it was.
Okay.
Yeah, things were just crazy, and I was spending a lot more, and the team was a lot larger.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think I necessarily did things the right way. I was just kind of growing for the sake of growing.
Yeah.
Now we're doing about half that, but it's a lot cleaner. It's a lot leaner. It's a lot more intentional, and I'm a lot happier now than how I had it
We're gonna
back then.
talk about your team in a few.
Sure.
But I don't know. For me, right now in my business, it's so hard to hit the 400 deals a year.
Okay.
Like
For your brokerage?
yes,
For your team? Yeah.
for my brokerage. Like it's so hard. Like I'm trying to push because people come and go.
Okay.
Right. I think I don't have the right system in place, and I do have to change a few things. But I mean, I know, and I could tell that from the beginning we keep growing the numbers.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna hit that and more, but it is a process that we have to follow. So that's the reason that I ask you, you know, what was the best year as a real estate? Because sometimes we have highs and sometimes we have lows.
Sure. Yeah, we do.
Right. My next question is, I know I'm going to talk about your parents. In 2017, you gifted your mom a car, right? Why? I know, and I heard this about people that I know you, they know you as you're a giver. Like you love to give. And
True.
it is super important. Like it is the most blessing thing that we could do. Give.
Yeah.
So take us to that moment when you took your mom to the dealership.
Yeah.
And I also have a picture because I printed
I guess
out.
I'm not private enough if you found this. And actually, I was thinking of, that's so funny. I actually was thinking of scraping my Instagram and just getting rid of everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe I am more private than I thought. You know? You got me thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think there's a need for it. I guess back then maybe I did or I wanted to,
Right.
but I don't know. People evolve, right? So maybe this is just the evolved version of me. And back then I wanted to share more. I am a huge giver, but even that I kind of struggle with because I wonder if I'm giving because I'm selfish and how good it makes me feel to give. Do you know what I mean? So even there I'm like conflicted. Like, shit, is this for me or is this for them? You know? Like I'm telling you, I don't know the answer and I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah. But yes, actually it's funny. Yesterday we're doing our pie giveaway. I feel like I'm going off topic here,
Right.
but we're doing our pie giveaway, and we ordered like I think 1,100 pies, and we had them at our broker's house in these U-Haul trucks, and my agents were picking them up. And as soon as I pull up, there's this guy on the side of the street asking me, like an older guy. He's like, "Hey, what number house is this?" He couldn't read the house, and actually it wasn't on the house. I'm looking for 61 Ridge, and I was at like 45. I was like, "Oh, let me see." So I'm like walking, I check it out. Guy starts telling me his life story. 69, drives Uber Eats. Sleeps in his car, like horrible. So I gave him a couple pies and $100, you know, and the guy's crying and I'm crying. My mom's crying. She was there. I don't know. And like I said,
But how do you
it
feel?
helps him, but
And not only one person told me about this, about you.
Yeah.
It's like I will say 6 people that I talk to.
Oh, really?
Is like he loves to give.
I
He's
do.
a giver. It's
I
like
do,
you don't
yeah.
have no limit.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's great.
You're making me tear up. I'm sorry. I'm a big
No.
mush too. So I'm just thinking about some of the things that I've been through and what I like to do. Yeah. And even that, I mean, obviously I don't share most of that. I give all the time. And
Right.
I like to keep that a secret too. I don't like when people post how much they're giving and what they're doing. But yeah, man, I'm sorry.
But
I'm just
no,
like
no,
kind
no.
of going down memory
but
lane with
it
things.
is important
Yeah.
to know the other side of you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows the business, man, everything that you do and
Yeah.
everything that you're building.
Mhm.
But it's also great to know your personal side.
Yeah.
Like, you started from humble beginnings,
Yeah.
but you love to give.
Mhm.
It's super important.
Yeah.
Being grateful, and the only way to be grateful is to give.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's the most beautiful thing that we could have
Mhm.
because it's not the same feeling that you're making $100,000, $200,000, $1 million in sales on profit than giving someone, like you said,
Mhm.
$100,
Mhm.
a pie, or change someone's life. It is super important.
Yeah. it
So
is.
I just want to be very not persistent, but I want just this is super important
Yeah.
to be a part of the podcast, that we are around people that they really care.
Yeah.
It's not about they just making money.
Right.
They do have an intention. They do have a mission. And that's the way I feel. Do you
Yeah.
think you have a mission in life?
For sure. Yeah.
What is your mission?
And we do follow a lot of the same people, right? I know we run into each other at events,
Mm-hmm.
and we hear it there all the time, right? The secret to living is giving, and when you come outside of yourself, and you come out in service, all of your negative emotions go away, right? They're gone. All of your fear, your anxiety, your stress, your worries, anything, right? Anything you're experiencing, as soon as you go and help and do something for somebody else, all that evaporates. So again, am I doing it for them or me? I don't know. You know what I mean? So like, that's like righteous. I guess time will tell. But I do have a mission, and I want to give back way more, and that's why I'm really trying to get to the next level, because I feel like I don't give enough, and I wish I could give way more. Like I have big plans to give a lot, and that's what I want to do, and that's what fills me up.
Yeah.
So part of what fills me up, but it's definitely one of the main components, So
That's
even
right.
growing the team, it's like the texts I get from the agents that are brand new, you know what I mean? The phone calls, the excitement, just remembering when I was in their shoes, and I was 21 years old,
Right.
and you know what I mean? And I wrapped up however many sales, and they're just, they're going through what I went through, where
Wow.
everyone's telling them they shouldn't be doing this. Everyone's telling them it's a bad idea. You're not going to make $1 million overnight. You need a steady paycheck, finish all this stuff, right? That I heard. I know they're hearing, even if they're not telling me that. So when they could prove everybody, and most importantly to themselves, that they can make this happen, that definitely lights me up. So
Yeah.
so
And your team
that's
love
easy.
you. Your team, I heard your team love you to death.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
I love hearing that. Thank you.
What has been the most powerful or emotional moment in your career so far?
Positive? Negative?
Well, both.
Emotional?
Let's hear both.
Ooh.
Let's hear the negative first.
But career focused, right? Not life
Yeah.
focused.
Well, it says, it could be personal or business.
I mean, I won't get too into it, but what I will tell you is, in 16 and 17, I lost my brother and my dad, right? Within 8 months apart, and went through a really tough time with my mom too. And it was like the whole family kind of fell apart in 1 year is what it felt like. So yeah, from there to honestly about 2 to 3 years ago, I was in a pretty dark, ugly place. And I definitely I was like a shell of what I used to be, So I stayed there for way too long. So now that I'm out, what I will say is like everything that people see, like with my team, whatever, it's basically all been built like by the time I was 30, right? I'm 42 now. So like I built this shit a long time ago, and it runs.
You look like 35.
Do I?
Of course. Yes. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about that too. But yeah, so, oh man, what was I saying? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. So you were saying 17, 18, you lost your dad and your
2017 and
So-
2018.
yeah,
That's
20
right. Yeah.
yes.
So I was like in my 30s, I was in a really dark place.
mm-hmm,
I kind of just crawled out of this a couple years ago, and now I'm really have my sights set on
mm-hmm,
more, bigger, different things, new things. So I'm adding a lot of things to my life and to the mix because I really want to blow past what I've done before, not just here, but with other ventures that I'm working on. So the fire's reignited. So what I would
love
say
it.
is, yeah.
So I saw a picture of your brother.
Yeah.
Is this it? I don't want you to delete now your Instagram.
Man, I feel like I'm on Dateline right now or something. And the interviewer showed me screenshots.
So that's your brother.
That's my brother, my dad, my mom, and me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was your little brother or oldest
Yes.
brother?
He was 2.5 years younger. He was also in real estate with me. Yep.
He was also in real estate.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
I got a funny story about him.
Yeah.
So I started when I was 18, like I said. When I was 20, 21, he got his license.
Mm-hmm.
And the year before, he was washing cars. I think he made like $10,000 or $12,000 washing cars part-time.
Mm-hmm.
Bought a used Dodge Durango for cash
Mm-hmm.
and had money in the bank. First year in real estate, right? Because, he had my guidance, so he had a quicker start than me. He made $70,000 and was $50K in debt, right? So like he went from like, he could live off $10,000 when he was 17, and then at 18, he spent $120,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's just hysterical. That's just the type of guy
Wow.
he was,
Wow.
But we always figured it out.
How do you surpass that moment that you're losing your dad and your brother?
How do you what?
Surpass that tough moment.
Oh, I had to learn about, the power of meaning
Mm-hmm.
and perspective. I had to shift
Right.
everything. It all happens inside. It's really not a time thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn the tools to be able to just kind of flip the story of what happened,
Mm-hmm.
to make it, more empowering and to, benefit me moving forward, not something that would hold me back like an anchor for the rest of my life. It's just,
Right.
it's not worth it. It's not what they'd want. It's not what I want. And, just a lot of education and soul searching, as you know,
Right.
to figure out how to blow past it. Now I'm like the best version of me I've ever been, without
Right.
a doubt. And I used to tell myself that I'll never be the same person and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And it's true. I'm much better,
Right.
but I used to think that I hit my peak,
Mm-hmm.
when I was like 30, and that's a lie.
One of the things that I love to share with my team is that when I went through my toughest moment, I decided to take therapy.
Mm.
By myself and with my husband,
Okay.
because I think it is super important. At one point in the business, I brought a therapist to the team
Wow.
because I was thinking, okay, if they're not good emotional, they're not gonna be able to produce. So I think I hired her for 6 months. My husband wanted to kill me.
Right.
He's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? It doesn't make any sense. Why are you spending so much money? Nobody does that. I was like, yes, but I want to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
So from that point, I love therapy.
Yeah.
Right now, we do have a therapist. It's virtual. She's from Colombia.
Great.
But every time that anyone needs it, is there. They don't
Yeah.
have to pay for anything. But I think it is super important to have someone on your side, but not the people that you know, someone that you don't know, an expertise who will guide you. Have you ever took therapy?
I feel like what we do is therapy, but it's not. And should we talk about it? Because I feel like I'm kind of being evasive about it. Can we? I don't know.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Of
So,
course.
we run into each other at Tony Robbins
Yes.
events. I think we've seen each other at 3 of them, maybe?
Yeah, 3.
3, right?
Yes. Every
Uh,
time I see you, I take a picture with it.
You do.
Yes,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah. So we see each other there. That type of stuff, I'm not saying it has to be him. That type of stuff is my therapy because it gets results right away. Whereas like I don't want to just sit there and talk about my feelings for years and
Yes.
years and years and years and not really make progress. I also don't want somebody that just validates me, right? It just, that doesn't make me feel good. I want results and I want change. So I go there for the change that I'm looking for. So that is my version of therapy. That's my
Okay.
version of like kind of that soul search and that self-work. I do read a lot of books too.
Okay.
I do listen to a lot of podcasts, YouTubes. I'm always learning for sure.
That's
So
good.
he's not my only mentor, but I have a lot of mentors and a lot of people I seek out to learn from. And quick productivity hack, which I just learned and it's changing my life. So I'll watch a few YouTube videos a day. I think I already knocked out
Oh, wow.
today. Yeah.
Nice.
Not like 2 hours each, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
15 minutes, 30 minutes. You could take the link, post it in chat, or copy paste it to ChatGPT. It'll tell you what's in the video, so you know if it's even worth watching. You know what I mean? Because sometimes videos are really long, and there's just like a few nuggets in there, or sometimes nothing, and it's all just fluff. So yeah, now I'm going to 10x my YouTube consumption.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to start doing that.
It's great.
It's funny that now that you mentioned ChatGPT, I asked ChatGPT if you were in a relationship, and the answer that I got, it was like, that you're getting married.
I thought it was going to tell you that it's complicated.
I was like, well, I don't see anything I don't see anything anywhere. So I was like, let me ask Chat.
Maybe Chat's predicted. Maybe it's predicted the future or something. I don't know. Maybe Chat has a crystal ball.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So around 2018, you started with your billboards.
Yes.
Okay. Where the idea came from?
Mark Spain. Yeah, he's the #1 team in the world. He is, oh my God, I don't even know what he does. He probably does 6, 7 times what we do. You know, I mean, just the volume that he does, he's in multiple states. When I first got inspired by him, he was just in Atlanta. I mean, my billboard is his. I just put my face on it and my website. So, I mean, just, you know what I mean? So just like, okay, this works for him. It'll work for me. Let me just clone it. And we kind of ran in the same circles, and he was at the top. So yeah, just finding someone who does what I want to do and emulating them is, you know, another thing we've learned. It's a shortcut to success.
Yeah.
You know, don't try to figure it out on your own. So he was doing well with it, crushing with it. So I added it. I always wanted to add it, but it wasn't in the budget, and it didn't seem like the right thing. Like I wanted to do it in a certain order, right? So if I just came out and did a few billboards, maybe I'm wrong. I told myself that it wouldn't be as effective as if I had everything else that I kind of already, right? Because everything in my business, besides billboards, I could really, really fine tune the ROI on and kind of dial in, you know, like what's the return on investment with this? Is it working? Is it not working? Billboards, there's some of that, but it's still kind of a little bit, you know what I mean? It's kind of like this, like it's like a part of the recipe that just makes the dish taste better, and you know what I mean? And you just kind of wing it, and it lifts everything that I do. As a standalone, it works great. But I look at billboards as an amplifier, not necessarily as like a foundational piece of the business. I think it just amplifies all the other marketing, right? So when they see my yard sign, if they know the name, I think you less resistance to call or reach out, a more trusted. If they hear the radio ads and now see me, again, less friction. If they get referred to me, less friction. So you do have
a radio ad too?
Yeah. You don't know that?
No.
That's not, no, I didn't post that.
No, you didn't. You see?
Actually, so, okay.
Are you only in New Jersey for the billboards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, only New Jersey. And I'll fill you in on the radio too. The radio is actually, and I feel like there's some questions that I didn't really go deep enough on that you asked me that I probably should have went deeper. But one of the big moments was radio for me. I still remember that first day and that first week. Yeah. That blew up my business. And that was back in 2013. Yeah. And I've been on ever since. Yeah. Wow. So I'm on, you know, morning, noon, and night. I don't even know how many ads a week.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's very expensive.
It is very expensive. Yeah. When I first started, it was $700 a spot, and it's a 1-minute spot. So that was a lot of money. Yeah. I still remember the day I launched. I don't wake up, I'll say this, I don't wake up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. But I did when the radio started running, because my commercial aired between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning. Yeah. And I had nobody pick up the phone back then. So I would wake up early, go to the office, and wait for the phone to ring. And it started ringing.
That's
day
amazing.
one. Yeah, it started ringing day one. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been incredible. Radio's been great for me.
Yeah, that's good.
You should look into it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
I remember, I'm going to tell you a story. I remember when I first saw you in Tony Robbins. Yeah. And I first understood what you did. So I tried to look up into billboards. When I found out the price, because I told my husband, listen, let's do something different. I think they were giving us a package of 18
billboards? Billboards. What'd they quote you?
I think it was like 300,000.
For how long?
For a year. I don't remember the exact amount.
Yeah, that sounds.
But
I could see that.
But it was like my husband was like, okay, why don't we do one first? I was like, no, there is no way.
Your husband's probably like, you know what? Let's just get a second therapist. Like, that'll be cheaper. I'll save.
Like,
yeah.
Crazy. He's like, how are you going to spend over $300,000 in something that is not going to work?
Yeah.
It was like, maybe it will work. Maybe it won't. I mean, you never know until you try it, right? But now that you're saying radio, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And that's something great about you, that you love to share things.
For sure.
Like you have an abundance mindset.
I'll tell you right now, if I spoke Spanish like you do, I'd be on the Spanish stations without a doubt. I only got one guy on the team that speaks Spanish, and he's overwhelmed with all the people we have that come in that want a Spanish speaking agent.
Right.
I would absolutely be on a Spanish station with a Spanish name, and I'm sure they're very reasonable. And the same goes for, there's lots of stations out there. There's stations, there's like Indian stations, the Spanish stations, European, different like countries and stuff. You want something that has a good reach, right? And Spanish here has a huge reach and a huge population. And there are some agents, because my mom likes Spanish music a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll get in her car and it's like 97.9, and La Mega or whatever she's listening to. and I'll hear it and I'll just like play it, right? Because I'm driving, I don't change it. And I do hear some agents on there, I think.
Right.
Yeah, last I heard. I don't remember who it was, and it was a little bit while ago, but there was at least an agent advertising on there. But that also doesn't mean that you can't do it, and it doesn't mean that you can't not make it work. And I think once we get off air, I could fill you in more on kind of the strategy and how to do it. Yeah, and what I'd recommend.
Thank you so much.
But I think that's going to be way better. The Billboard is kind of like, oh, who is this, The great thing about radio is that it's like a referral from a friend of yours. So if there's somebody, like for instance, Tony Robbins, he's selling something, I buy it. You know what I mean, right? Because I just trust them. And it's the same thing with radio DJs and hosts and jockeys and all that stuff. Right. I did, just because how I am, I tried like so many stations, and I was on Z100.
Really?
Yeah. For a short little stint, that was the most expensive airtime that I bought. That was $1,800 per spot with Elvis Duran. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it was a lot. It didn't work.
Wow.
Well, it worked, so it got me listings, but the ROI wasn't there. Right? It was a loser in that sense, because I was paying to reach New York, Connecticut, Staten Island, right, and New Jersey. So I'm paying for this huge reach, and I could only service a small fraction of it, so it didn't make sense.
Oh, okay.
So that was a lesson learned.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good. At least you tried.
Live and learn. At least I tried. Yeah.
Yes, you're gonna regret it.
Yes.
Right. What advice would you give to the agents who really wants to invest in marketing, but they're scared to take that step?
Well, I would ask them, what's their goal?
Yeah.
With marketing, I would assume it's to make money.
Right.
And then my follow-up question would be like, well, if you think it's going to make you money, what are you afraid of? If you're going to pump in $1 and it gives you back $3, $4, or $5, my brain doesn't comprehend what there is to be afraid of.
There's a lot of them that they don't want to invest in. If they want to make money, they have to invest.
Yeah, I definitely have like a gambler spirit in me for sure, and I like the adrenaline, and I like that chance.
Same.
And I know. I already know we're on the same page with this stuff. So you get it. So for us, and by the way, that's how we're wired, right? So we're not going to, you can't put a square peg into a round hole, And if somebody doesn't handle risk well, they may spend the first $1, but they might not see it through. You know what I mean? They might not give it a chance to work or give it time, right? Because that's the other thing, right? Like with our business, even if they ran some sort of ad and it worked, they're not getting a paycheck for 3, 4, 5 months. Right. So then having the guts and the faith to stick with it, where you're in that valley of despair, as Alex Hormozy calls it, that kind of no man's land, where you just don't know if this is going to pan out or not. That is very stressful for most people. We're not wired like most people, so for us, it's easier to do that.
Right.
So I think it is difficult. If that's not for them, what I would recommend is they could build a business a different way that lines up with their personality. So again, going back to the beginning where I said I kind of don't like a lot of friction, I would find out if I'm afraid to spend, what aligns, right, with my natural, what do I gravitate towards? What makes it easy for me to kind of flow? And for that person, it might be networking, right? It might be like socializing, which by the way,
Something
I
different.
don't really do, right? So like for me, I repel that.
Wow.
So if someone's like, oh, go to events and hand out business cards, no chance.
Right.
Knock on
Well, you
doors,
do
no
have a
chance.
different model.
Exactly.
Are you comfortable sharing how much you spend in marketing?
Yeah, I'll share whatever. But yeah, I just kind of finished that. I want to put a bow on
okay.
that thought.
No.
You know, I would just try to find, you know, I wouldn't encourage every single agent to reinvest if it's not their personality. I would find something that works for them, which, by the way, there's only two ways to get business: marketing or prospecting, right? Everything falls under those two. Marketing, you spend money; prospecting, you spend time. And it's the same thing. But if you're afraid to spend money, you'd rather spend your time. That doesn't, you know, give you concern. If you don't want to spend either, I guess get out of the business, right? But you can only spend one or the other. So if you want to spend your time, there's a million ways to get business. You know, yeah, you could go figure that out. Pick up the book; it's great. It'll teach you, and go on like a Facebook group, and you could get a ton of advice from there. For my marketing budget, today it's north of like $150,000 a month. It was much more. Yeah, I don't know the exact number.
$150,000 a month.
I know it works, and I hold everything accountable on its own. So it needs to, like, let's say I'm looking at Google, you do Google LSA, right? Local service ads.
No, I don't.
Oh, you need to.
Really?
Oh, it's the best. Yeah, that's the best. That's the best right now, and that's getting watered down. I was one of the first adopters, and it was great. And it's getting worse and worse, but it's still really, really good. The thing that kind of blurs the effectiveness of it for me is I think a lot of people are already seeking me out. They know me from radio and billboard. And then if they see me on the Google local service ad, they're more likely to click or call, or they were already seeking me out. So I think my numbers are exceptional with that marketing. But I know people that don't do anything big media that still do well with it. But anyway, local service ads, whatever that budget is, let's say it's like, I think consistently we spend $8,000 to $10,000 a month on it, depending on how much traffic it gets. I know how many inquiries I get, so I track all that stuff fanatically. The inquiry count, which is not the most important thing. I like to measure cost per appointment, so I think that's also like a little nugget, you know, that people should focus on. All leads are not created equally, right? A Facebook lead and a referral is two different animals, right? You'd pay a lot more, not that you could pay for a referral, but you get the point, right? That's a lot more valuable than what just like a web form submission on Facebook is. A Zillow lead's better than a pay-per-click lead. An open house lead's better than, you know what I mean?
Right.
So there's like a hierarchy to the quality of leads. So the great equalizer there is not looking at the cost per lead, but looking at the cost per appointment, right? Because once you have the face-to-face, the conversion is going to be comparable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So with Google, it's one silo. With radio's another thing. Billboard's another thing. My website's another thing. You know, I don't have a million sources, but I have a few that I go really, really deep on. And that's another thing I'd recommend too, you know, I've been big lately on Alex Hormozy. I watch a ton of his stuff. So don't listen to me, listen to him. I promise he's unreal. But his thing is more, better, new. That's the order he usually goes with when he adds things to growing a business.
Wow.
So if you're already doing something that's working, it took you a long time probably to find it, a lot of risk and time. Why are you not doing more of it? And maybe the answer is there is no more, but usually there is.
There is always.
Right. You could go deeper.
Yes.
So that's the first thing you want to do because you know it already works. You know what I mean? If you're going 100 miles an hour with it, let's go 150, 200 miles with it. We don't need another car, right? And then you could do it. You could also do it better. There's ways to tweak and improve. And then once you max out those two, you know, kind of things, then you could go new. Okay, what else can I add to the mix to make my marketing even stronger? And that's important too, right? You do want multiple, it's like spokes in a wheel. I learned that analogy a long time ago. The more spokes it has, the stronger the wheel. You know, so you don't want to be like a one-trick pony that just relies on, right? When people are like, oh, I get all my business by referral. I don't spend a penny on advertising. I'm like, holy shit. So it must be feast or famine. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's not something to brag about. To me, that's terrifying. You know, that you have one strategy and it's like hoping and praying. You know what I mean? That people send you something. I like more predictable. And yeah, you should have some diversity in your marketing mix because different things will perform different times of the year, right? There's seasonality, there's ebbs and flows. Every month is different. So you want to be able to create something that could weather the storm when there is a storm, because there's always one.
I really want to spend more money in marketing.
Okay.
Like I want to go full force.
Yeah.
And you just gave me an idea.
Great.
Radio.
Okay.
Spanish.
That's it. La Mega. Vamos. Let's do it. I want to hear you out there. I already know I'm going to hear you out there next
Because we
week.
do a lot of prospecting.
Yeah.
Like we have a virtual assistant in the Philippines. We have a team there.
Yep.
But
You could even do a radio show. I have a lot of friends that do a radio show. If you're willing to do this,
Yeah.
you could absolutely talk to them about setting up your own like half-hour segment. You talk about real estate, you get call-ins. You could become
That would be
the
amazing.
expert. I didn't want to do it because I never wanted to commit to it, but I was offered it.
Yeah, it's a lot
Like a
of
half-hour
commitment.
segment. It's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
Also why I don't do podcasts. Also why I'm not
Listen,
married.
I feel
I'm afraid of
privileged
commitment. Yeah.
for you being here.
It worked
Like,
out. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's funny how it worked out.
Yeah. Well, I'm very persistent. I don't take no for an answer. It's like
You were trying to pin me down since 01, you said. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
So let's talk about team and leadership. How do you choose the right agent for your team?
I'm not the best at this, but what
Somebody
I learned,
does it for you?
I do have someone that does like kind of the first round of screenings and interviews because he knows what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
We tend to shy away from part-timers. You know, it takes a lot to
yeah.
get traction in this business. It's difficult if you come in full-time, never mind part-time.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, I have been making some exceptions to that rule, but there's just certain things that, you know, if their attention's divided, they're doing 5 different things. I'm just not interested in that. Our team is not for someone that just gets a license and hangs it, you know, and sells part-time or maybe just sells their own flips or new constructions. That's just not what it's for. So he does a little bit of the screening. What I would say is I am not the best at hiring because I tend to see the best in everybody and see opportunity, and I'm optimistic. And I don't want to say usually wrong. I'm often wrong. So what I do is if they kind of check a few boxes, I'll give them a chance. That's kind of that's my thing because I don't know who's going to make it or not. I don't know how, and that's the key ingredient here. If somebody's hungry, they will figure this out. And sometimes it's tough for somebody to convey, you know what I mean? What their aspirations are and how bad they want it and how much they have to prove. So I give them a chance to prove it, you know, and the hungry do survive. The hungry figure it out. They adapt. They're coachable. You know, that's really what we look for. I do look for younger versions of someone like me. Ideally, that's usually when I know they're gonna soar. That, you know, that early 20s really doesn't have any bills, you know, but they have, you know,
the drive.
They have the drive. So, and I want to go back to something you said too, because you're like, oh, growing's hard. People come, people go. And I was like, ugh. And you know, the Tony World limiting beliefs.
Yes.
I'm like, oh man, I'm hearing these limiting beliefs pop up. That's an easy fix. You need to bring on more than you lose, right? So that's common, right? Like,
but it's tough. It's not easy.
I would also say that's a limiting belief because there's ways to do that. And we'll talk about that too. Yeah, there's definitely systems you could build out for that. And I'll tell you something too. If you did radio, you could recruit like crazy. Yeah. There's so many ways.
So that's the reason that we opened the school.
Okay. That makes sense. I've heard of people do that strategy.
Like, okay, yeah.
And is it working?
It is working.
Great.
But like you say, it's working more for the Spanish community because they just in New Jersey, you could take your real estate license in Spanish. So now a lot of people that they couldn't pass in English, they're taking the classes in Spanish and the state exam in Spanish. Yes. And it's being a blessing.
I have a friend that's trying to get her license.
I'm telling you, send them to my school for free.
It was in Spanish.
And that's the beauty that
if
they don't have the money, they go through the nonprofit. So we pay for the school and they go to the school.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, Rob, these people are hungry. Like they are. I never seen.
Yeah.
Honestly, since we're doing this business for a couple of years now, agents come and go, but these Spanish people that they're getting so hard to get this license, they work double, triple. Like they are super motivated to make it happen.
Well, going wider with that, it's the immigrant thing, right? Because, I'm son of immigrants and I'm hungry, So it's that fuel. And we do have some on the team that just, top agent came here like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And she's number one on my team. We see it happen time and time again. Absolutely. I love the immigrant. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's what I am and it's what I love to bring on. So, yeah.
Your mom is from, your dad?
Both of my parents are from Poland. My family's from Poland. I need to do an ancestry test. We are a little dark. Polish? I do speak Polish. I was raised speaking Polish. Yeah, I didn't, even though I was born here, it was Polish at home, Polish babysitters. And I didn't learn English till maybe like second grade. I don't even know. I used to sleep in like kindergarten and preschool. I didn't understand anything.
Wow.
So I would just sleep until I kind of picked up the language.
Oh, okay.
And then when I finally learned the language, I was in like delayed classes, like delayed math. You know what I mean? Because I just, I didn't understand. My mom got me a math tutor. That's why, that might be the best thing that ever happened to me, honestly. Now that you got me thinking about that too. My math tutor was amazing. I had her for 2 years. And I mean, that's just how my brain works now. My brain just, everything's math and numbers and projections. There's like some quote about, when statistics and probability were discovered, it's the first time human beings were able to predict the future, So mathematically, there's so many things you could do. It's incredible. But so I started off delayed and then I ended up excelling thanks to that tutor. And it served me amazing in my life.
That's great. Going back to your team.
Yes.
Who fires? You or somebody else? Who let people go?
I'm not good at that either. See, I'm not good at a lot of things. I think
you're as good at selling.
We're going to be here a long time. I am terrible with that too.
But who does it for you? I mean, sometimes we have to make those tough conversations, right?
We do. I mean, I do have some managers on the team that have fired some people for me. I have fired some people in the past. Most people, if we're talking about agents, most people kind of weed themselves out and fire themselves. You know what I mean? So they just don't show up. They don't work. They don't sell. They're as good as gone, basically. They almost never turn it around. You know what I mean? Like if they fall off, they kind of never turn it around. This business isn't for most people.
Yeah.
And when you brought on hiring, that's why I'd rather just bring on more because I know that a chunk won't make it. And the ones that make it, right? So it's like, again, MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, the qualities and the quantity. So we just keep bringing on. I think I brought on like 5 or 6 people in the past 2 months. I didn't lose that, but I just knew I needed more. And I kind of got lazy with the hiring. So I was like, okay, let me do something about it. I put some wheels in motion and got a bunch of applicants and hired a bunch of them.
How many agents do you have now?
40 something.
Nice.
40 something. Yeah. I don't know the exact count. It's a moving number.
Yeah.
But somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Yep.
And on the flip side, I know we talk about whenever you hire agents, you already know who's hungry enough.
You find out quickly.
Yes, but on the flip side, what makes you say no? This is not the right fit for this agent here.
So, like I said, if their efforts or their focus is kind of spread thin, that's a red flag for me. If they look at real estate sales as a stepping stone role, that's a huge red flag to me. If it's like, I want to own apartment buildings and run my own team, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, did you even get your license yet? So, like. If it's just so absurd that I feel like they're just using this, to not just using it to kind of get somewhere, but even if they're so future focused that they're not like, how do I do the most here? How do I bring the most value? How do I grow this? If they're not focused on the task at hand and they're kind of like in la la land, that's a turnoff for me for sure. But that's kind of the extent of it. I mean, we've seen all types of people thrive, all types of people. It really doesn't matter. All ages, all walks of life. It's that the common denominator is that hunger. If I sense that, then, then it's a green light for me. You know what I mean? I don't think much else really matters, and I'll definitely give them a chance. But I want to make sure they're all in, I want to make sure they're all in and they're not just dabbling, because the dabblers, don't make it.
What makes your team culture differently?
I think a lot of things. My team's very homegrown. So even though my business is more marketing, right, than referral, obviously. It has to be. Or maybe it doesn't have to be. But for me to grow it fast and get it to the size that I wanted to get it to and have it consistently churning, I felt like marketing would get me there more than focusing on like a buy referral model. That felt like the slower way to get there. Just felt like a slower vehicle. Not maybe it won't be impossible. Nothing's impossible, but it wouldn't get me there as quickly as marketing. But my team has grown almost largely by referral. So not the majority, but I have like a core group of veteran agents with me, 10, 12, 15 years, that a lot of them are childhood friends. So I've known them since, elementary school, a lot of them.
Really?
They're on the team. Their siblings are on the team. So it's not uncommon for me to have siblings on the team, spouses on the team, father-daughter relationships on the team. So we have like, so it's really cool to see that I bring somebody on and they refer me to their significant other, their family member, one of their best friends, and they bring that person on and vouch for them. So I think that organically grown culture is very valuable.
That's impressive.
Because the person that brought somebody on isn't going to bring on a slouch.
Exactly.
And then the person that got brought on isn't going to make their friend who vouched for them look bad. So I think that's been kind of a secret ingredient.
How do you keep them motivated?
Agents?
Yes.
Agents and staff are different, right? I mean, I don't think you do. I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I think the right person is motivated, So for me to have a team of motivated people, I need to hire a lot of people is the way I look at it. And I think the cream rises to the top and the motivated will be there. I'm not the guy who's trying to like crack a whip. You know what I mean? And like, it's just not me.
Right.
Either you want it or you don't. If you want it, we have plenty of opportunity for you. And if you don't want it, that's okay. We will give the business to people that want it. I don't know. I don't think you could instill any lasting motivation or hunger in somebody. Yeah. There's just no way.
And that's the thing with me is that I try to, even though they're not motivated.
You want them to be like you?
I want, yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Never happened.
But I have to learn.
Yeah.
The tough way. But I mean.
Sounds like you learned already.
I learned the hard way, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best way we learn. Those are the best lessons.
Exactly.
Yep.
What system or habits help you scale to this level? Well, I mean.
So, I mean, a lot of marketing, a lot of technology. And again, I'm not doing 100 different things. We're doing a handful of things very aggressively. We just go deeper with things. And that's it. And then measuring, holding it accountable, fine tuning it, pruning the stuff that doesn't work well, and always looking for new things. And giving them a chance to see if they'll work.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit about your family. How has your family influenced your drive and your success?
My family's been everything because what they went through to come here and the jobs that they had to do and the lives they had to live, I will feel forever indebted to my parents and my grandparents for the sacrifices they made to get me here. So for me to not make the most out of this life and this opportunity, I couldn't live with that guilt. Yeah. So it's been everything. Yeah. For me, it's been that I have to make their sacrifice worth it and prove that to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a picture in Instagram when you gifted your mom her first Rolex.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful. What is one of the challenges you're currently working through?
Got a lot of them. Got a lot of them. So one of the challenges I'm currently working through. So again, going back to Hormozy and diving into his content, he talks about constraints on your business. And that was kind of an eye-opener for me, really focusing on the constraint where I could open everything else would flow if I could loosen up this constraint. So my constraint right now has been lack of listing appointments and listing inventory. I know it's the entire market's dealing with it. So we saw a lot of shrinkage there with how many homes list and things like that. So I've been trying to fix that constraint because I have the staff, I have the agents, I have the technology. Like I have everything that I need to handle way more volume, but my bottleneck is the amount of listing appointments that we don't get every month. And that's what I'm trying to fix right now. That's my biggest thing. If I could open that up, everything else will flow.
How do you figure out which agent is going to be working with buyers and which agent is going to be working with sellers?
Oh, gotcha. So I'll let any agent on my team take a listing. If it's a brand new agent, we'll go with them to help them. And they have mentors and guides on the team that help them out. But when you talk about who actually gets fed listing appointments, it's going to be either a few of my veterans, a handful of veterans that have put the time in, produce the results. And I do lean on some of my newer guys too that are a few years in that are really working hard and showing big results. So the people that get the listing appointments from the team are the ones that have kind of earned the right to.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say something too is if you look at like my top 4 agents last year, 2 were buyer agents, 2 were listing agents.
Really?
So if you look at what they
Wow.
made, yeah, it's neck and neck. So there is no, I've had a listing agent become a buyer agent before. She's like, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? I like buyers. Buyers are happy. They're getting a new home, you know what I mean? First time. They're, you know, like it's a new chapter.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the sellers, you know, it's like death, divorce, you know what I mean? They can't afford it, right? So not all the time. A lot of times there's a negative reason somebody's selling a home. It's not the happiest thing. And she just wanted that happy experience, you know what I mean? Where people are happy and grateful and optimistic about the future. So it's not that one's better than the other. I mean, listings are more leveraged, right? So you're not running around as much. But my buyer agents feel, I think, on the buy side, it's more rewarding, you know? But yeah, so, you know, I'm losing my train of thought there, too. I'm sorry. But it's just one of those things where there really is there's pluses and minuses to both sides of it.
Right.
But somebody on the list side, that's exclusively on the list side, has been with me, generally speaking, a long time, 10 plus years, and has really, really earned their keep and proven that that's where they belong.
Of course, they deserve that. Do you invest?
Yes. Yes.
What are you, multi, commercial?
No, nothing commercial. We're usually flipping something, you know, we
okay.
usually have a few homes that we'll flip. Lately I've been getting coached by a friend who's like mastered the Burr model, which I'm regretful I didn't start sooner.
Yeah.
And I'm regretful selling a lot of the stuff that I flipped. I should have kept it, cleaned it up, and cash out refied it and rented it. But you know what? Live and learn, you know? So we do flips. We always have a few going on, but I'm going to do more buy and holds now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We hold a lot. We don't usually use the Burr model because I deal with a lot of foreclosures.
Yeah.
And the main 3 reasons that they lose their properties is because 1, they divorce. 2, they take equity out of the property.
Yeah.
And 3 is because, there is a medical issue.
Sure.
So with all the properties that we have, we never either refinance or take the money out. Like that's the way that we see it.
Okay.
And it is working well for us.
Great.
And a lot of people say, as a matter of fact, I was meeting with the banker, and he was like, "Listen, we're willing to give you, X amount of $1 million, so you could reinvest money, but we have to do a blanket mortgage with some of your property." I was like, "No, I mean, what if something happened?" And then you start asking what if? So we're going great the way that we're going. Why we're gonna risk it?
Yeah.
Just in case. If we do have an opportunity, it's either depend on flipping, keeping, No, I don't do wholesaling. I do hoteling.
Yep.
So it is different scenarios that we do. But I think keeping is passive income is the way to go.
Yeah.
Like we as a realtors, we get the first opportunity to say, listen, I could put an offer on your property. You could put it in the market. You could get a lot more money, but I could give you a different benefit. Maybe you could stay in the property for 10 years, 15 years, whatever the case may be. But as a broker, we have to disclose that, they could get a lot more money. But not all the people look for the money.
True.
A lot of people, they look for the convenience. They, they want to stay in their property. So yes, I mean, keeping properties is the best way to go right now. You never thought about buying commercials?
Like I mentioned, my 30s were kind of like a blur. Like I had big plans before, and then life kind of happened, and then I took my eye off the prize for a long time. Maybe it's something I do down the road, like bigger units, but it's not in the near future, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'll grow into it.
Do you teach your agents to invest too?
I mean, I encourage it when they see opportunities, but I also don't think it's for everybody.
Right.
Nothing's for everybody, right?
I know.
So even when I hear you speaking here, like my mentor that does the Burr, he would tell me that equity in a property is like having an employee that doesn't work, right?
I hear all the time.
But I'm not gonna give you any of my opinion on what you should or shouldn't do with that. Have you read the book Psychology of Money?
No.
All right, you need to. It's an easy listen. It's like 5 hours in the car. I'm telling you, you can knock it out in a day or two. I've done it a few times. And it's interesting what he goes into is explaining why we all have different relationships with money and how we look at it, how we treat it. So our right or wrong and what we're comfortable or uncomfortable with has to do with so many variables, right? Like how old we are,
Yes.
when we were born, where we were born, our time horizon, how much time we have left, right? How our parents were with money, if we grew up with it or not, what our friends do. Do you understand what I mean? Like there's so many things that came into play that were all going to be unique to how we treat it, how we invest it, how, kind of cautious or careless we are with it. It's a great book, and I think it'll give you a lot of understanding. And I think it'll reinforce why what you're doing is right for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Instead of people telling you you're doing the
you
wrong thing.
You got that book, Daniela?
Yeah, it's great. You'll love it. Yeah, and actually he has my favorite podcast, and I guess it's the world's favorite podcast because he's number one right now, Diary of a CEO. So the author of the book, Morgan Housel, I think is his last name, he did an interview on there too. So you can check out the interview on Diary of a CEO and definitely check out the book. And I think he came out with a new one actually recently. But it's great. But it'll help you understand why you are how you are and why there is no right or wrong. Yeah.
I'm learning so much from you.
Good,
Why is the reason that you decided to come to this interview?
I do stay away from these. And I usually stay away from these because when I do one, like 3 people ask me to do theirs. And it's just not something I want to do. I don't really want to do the podcast circuit, because I know a lot of people are starting their own now. Well, you are. We've crossed paths a bunch of times. It's always been a great experience. And yeah, you've always been amazing to me. And I know we run in the same circles with a lot of the things that we're into. So I just felt there's more alignment there, I think, than with some other people that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah. Yep. What is the legacy that you want to leave?
Probably that giver thing, Life gives to the givers and takes from the takers, giving back, being a good person. But you gotta put yourself first too, right? At the beginning.
It's tough, right?
Well, you have nothing to give, right? Like if you're just right. So obviously you need to grow your own life and make it large. So there's excess, right? But yeah, I would just say legacy. Yeah. I mean, just always be very flexible, open-minded, be a constant student, know that there's a lot you don't know and there's answers out there if you seek them out and, do something big with your life because you owe it to your family and to your friends and to your community and give back. Yeah.
You always see your mom?
Do I always see her?
Yes.
All the time.
Oh, I love it.
All the time. Yeah. I'm going to go take her to a movie today. I think I had dinner at her house yesterday. I took her to a movie a couple nights ago. I see her all the time. I travel with her. I bring her places. Not everywhere, but if she wants to go, she'll tag along.
I know you love cars and you love to travel.
I do.
What is the best country that you ever been to?
New Zealand was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 2 summers ago I went. That was amazing. Yeah. Okay. That was unreal. It felt like it was something out of a painting. Yeah, it was crazy. Like the animals you saw, the wildlife, the mountains, the southern lights. It was it was very, very special. Very special. New Zealand was amazing. I love Switzerland. Dubai was pretty cool. Smaller than I thought it'd be. Hotter than I thought it'd be.
It's like over 100.
Yeah. Dubai. Yeah, it was cool to see and experience. I think you have to do it.
Right.
I love Italy.
I was there last year in Dubai.
Yeah. So you get it.
Super.
And you start your day at like 3 p.m. and go to bed at like 4 a.m., right? Yes. It's like, one of those kind of weird days. It's shifted.
You ever been to Machu Picchu?
It's Peru? So funny you just asked about Machu Picchu. No, I haven't. I know. I'm sorry. I thought it was in Mexico, which I just came back from last Wednesday, but that was the cenotes, which I learned. I was like, is Machu Picchu here? They're like, no, cenotes. I was like, okay. I haven't done it yet. My mom's dying to go to Galapagos, so maybe I could do that as part of it because I know there you got to fly out of Ecuador. So yeah, maybe I'll hit Peru. I'm sure I will. I'll hit it all.
It's beautiful.
Why not? I will. I'll do it all.
Beautiful. It's
beautiful. Of course. Yeah, there's a lot of amazing places to see. So many.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping up. I really want to thank you
You're
from
welcome.
the bottom of my heart. I know I feel super special right now because I know you don't do this often. And I really appreciate you coming here to my podcast, our podcast here. And thank you for all the lessons that you shared today. Thank you for, it's gold. Like for a lot of agents that they're going to see this, is, I'm pretty sure they're going to take action. Like me, as soon as we finish, I'm going to ask you about the radio because I want to do it like now.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
And thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for our sponsors, Estancia Restaurant, Altera Home Loans, Hometown Title Insurance, and Animac. So bye.